Some, like you say, some women will, these are externals we're talking about, you know, in a sense, quite superficial because it's only on us, on our clothes. But in terms of what happens on the inside with our minds and our hearts, what can you suggest to people to improve, increase their sense of self-esteem?
You know, my very first, I have two tips that I always, or two secrets that I always love to share with people. My first, my second book is called Self-Esteem Doesn't Come in a Bottle. And when I was writing that book, you know, I had to really do some soul searching about what is it in me that, you know, gives me my self-esteem. What is it? What do I do different than a lot of other people? One of the things that I realized is that I quit calling myself names. So when I was looking in the mirror, a lot of times when I was, you know, younger, I would look in the mirror and I would say, yeah, still ugly. You still got those ugly scars on your face. How am I going to feel great about myself if all I can see is my ugly scars? So one day I gave myself permission to stop calling myself the ugly scar face girl and to start looking and feeling beautiful. So I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what? I'm going to give myself permission to feel beautiful, and I'm going to give myself permission to love my little parts. I can't always love my whole body. Maybe, you know, maybe there's some scars I really just don't like. I mean, my scars are all across my chest, into my back, my face, my arms, my legs, everywhere. So I thought, but you know what? I have some little parts that I love. For example, I love my big green eyes. I love my cute little nose. I love my cute little ear. You know, I've got a cute little ear. I love my hot ass. I do. There's a big little story that goes with it. There's a love story that goes with it. And we don't have time to talk about it today. But you can read about it in all my books. But, you know, I started to say, wow, I do have all these little parts that I love. And so I would look in the mirror and I would start to say, you know what? My scars faded in the background, and all the things I loved about me, my eyes, my nose, my smile, my ears, all these other things started popping out at me. And I was like, wow, I really am beautiful. And, you know, I started to see all the stuff I loved about me instead of the stuff I hated about me. So the other thing, the other secret that I always share with people is that you have to stop treating yourself like crap and start treating yourself great. So if you keep beating yourself up, if you keep calling yourself names, if you keep looking at the mirror and telling yourself how ugly and fat and old you look, if you keep gossiping about everybody, if you keep, you know, like doing all these things that are beating yourself up and, you know, not allowing yourself to have joy in your life, you're going to have horrible self-esteem. As simple as that. And I have 18 secrets, and they're all in my book. Self-esteem doesn't come in a bottle. And, you know, that's what life is all about. It's all about treating yourself well. I mean, if you look at some of the most successful people in this world, do you really think that, you know, they go look in the mirror and call themselves horrible names? They don't. You know, they look in the mirror and they realize that they're successful and they're smart and they're following their passion, and, you know, they're just doing things they want to do in their life. You know, if you keep doing a job you hate, you're not going to do well in life. I mean, I still remember when I was making that decision whether to quit my job or do my passion, I was writing the chapter about how can you have great self-esteem when you're in four walls and you're crying yourself, you know, throughout the day. When you're beating yourself up all day, how can you have greater self-esteem? And I wasn't even living up to my own word. And that's when I said, you know what? That's not right. My self-esteem, I feel great when I'm on that stage. I feel fantastic when I get to talk to burn survivors who are saying, Kelly, I just want to feel beautiful like you. How can you help me? You know, I love it when I get emails from, you know, daughters who have read my self-esteem book and said, Kelly, your book just makes me realize I don't need to be so concerned about what other people think of me. That is so incredible for me. That builds my self-esteem. But sitting at a desk and working on a database for 8 hours a day is not building my self-esteem. So you need to find those things that's going to make you feel great and do it. No matter what the cost is, you have to do it.
Okay, so it sounds like, oh, I can feel the passion coming through here. It's fantastic. That's good. But also, just an aside, we're going to meander. Like you said, because you pursued your passion, you had the courage to go and step out and say to your boss, okay, this is not me. You're right. My life isn't here. My future isn't here. My future is somewhere on a stage inspiring somebody else to be the best version of themselves. And consequently, what followed was the money. Yes, you're now paid a hell of a lot more than you were when you were punching in numbers in a database. So, and that was a consequence fueled by your upbringing and your experiences at school. So, can you tell me how many of the people at school who called you terrible names actually earn as much as you?
I don't know. I don't know because I ignore them. But I do know one thing. My life is so fulfilling right now. On my Facebook, I have so many people who are, telling me how much I inspire them or how much I've inspired their daughters or, whatever it is. And to me, it's not about what happened to me back when I was a teenager. To me, it's all about moving forward. And so it really doesn't bother me, what they're doing. I just know that, I have a lot of my friends who, I've been friends with since I was 2 years old. And, people I've gone to school with who are still friends with me. And they say, Cal, this is awesome what you're doing. And, so glad that I got to be a part of your life as a teenager and growing up with you. And so, yeah, to me, it's not even about the money. I mean, I don't even care about the money. And to me, it's all about just